It's time to cover up the ugly conduit on this project and tie the steel wainscot and wood plank feature wall together by building an electrical chase which will turn this into this. Welcome to DIY The Art of Wood. I'm Jeremy. Let's get started. First, we need to cut some blocks to fit in between each rib on the steel paneling. You can use just about any type of lumber you have available. This is actually a great chance to get rid of some scrap material you have laying around. Here, I'm just using 2x4s to make the blocks. These blocks will serve as the anchor to attach the trim pieces to create the finished electrical chase. When measuring the distance between each rib, keep in mind that the steel panel is slightly curved at each rib, so you'll need to cut each block shorter than the actual distance between the ribs so that the block can sit flat against the panel. The exact length needed will be determined by your panels. You will also need to rip the lumber you're using to cut the blocks down to width. This width will be determined by how wide your finished trim pieces are. Rip the lumber down to around 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch narrower than the trim you're using for the front of the chase. Ripping the block slightly narrower like this will set the bottom edge back far enough so the blocks won't be visible once the face trim is attached, but still gives you enough surface area to support the face trim. Be sure to choose lumber that is slightly thicker than the depth of the electrical junction boxes for clearance. Once your blocks are cut, start nailing them into place. Be sure to drive the nails into wall studs unless you have some sort of backer board like the old beadboard wainscot that I have behind the steel panels here. You'll notice that when I get to the blocks below the electrical conduit, they are even narrower than the blocks for the sections of steel paneling without conduit. This will all make sense in a few minutes, but for now just make sure the bottom edges of all the blocks are even with each other and check for level as you go. Next, measure and cut sections of your trim or material that is the same dimensions as the trim you'll be using to fit in between each electrical junction box. Leaving this space open will allow for access to the electrical connections later if needed. Start nailing these trim boards to the blocks, being careful not to shoot nails into the conduit. 18 gauge brad nails will work fine here. Be sure to keep the top edge flush with the top edge of the blocks. You may be wondering how you'll be able to do that once you get to the narrower blocks below the conduit, but don't worry, I'll show you a little trick that will help you maintain that straight line all the way across. It's a simple trick really, just use a string line wrapped around the first block, pulled all the way across to the last block, which will need to be a full width block in this case. As long as those first couple blocks are level, the string will give you a guideline to set the top edge of the trim board to. See there? Just like that, perfectly straight and level. Oh yeah! Next, we can turn our attention to the other walls. These are a bit more straightforward. Since there is no conduit to work around, all the blocks are the same width. It's pretty much just rinse and repeat. These two trim boards are Montana Ghostwood and are the vertical trim pieces for the doors at each end of the wainscoting. These need to be in place to ensure a proper fit of the trim boards on the electrical chase. If you are wondering why I'm burning these with a torch, click the link that's about to pop up on the screen now for a closer look at my method for aging and distressing wood. The trim boards I'm using for the chase are reclaimed wood that have been sitting outside for a long time. They are covered in dirt and other schmutz that will need to be removed prior to finishing. The large chunks scrape off fairly easily with a putty knife. To get the rest of the grime off, hit it with a random orbit sander, but tread lightly. Too much sanding will remove all the character, eliminating the point of using reclaimed wood like this in the first place. Before applying the finish, be sure to remove the sanding dust. If you have an air compressor handy, blow the surface dust away, then wipe the remaining dust off with a damp cloth. For the finish, I'm using a satin polyurethane. It goes on easy, dries fast, doesn't have strong toxic smelling fumes, and with a satin sheen it helps maintain a flat, natural finish perfect for a rustic, reclaimed look. In low traffic areas, a couple coats is just fine. Remember those trim boards I was burning with the torch a couple minutes ago? Now that the polyurethane is dry, it's time to install them. Set the trim in place, make sure they're flush with the edges of the wood plank feature wall, and check for plumb with a level. Then drive some finish nails in place, making sure to hit the wall framing around the door so they will be securely anchored to the wall. Now that the door trim is in place, we can attach the top shelf of the finished trim boards on the electrical chase. Earlier I mentioned that the blocks under the conduit would have to be ripped narrower than the other blocks and that it would all make sense a little later. Now hopefully it is starting to make sense as this chase is coming together. The pieces of trim board we attached to the blocks earlier will now serve as support for the shelf and give something to nail the shelf to above the sections where the conduit runs. It is a small target to hit, but using a combination square like I am here will help to align the nail gun perfectly every time. If the trim boards you are using are shorter than the length of the chase you are building, you can use a carpentry trick called a scarf joint at the seams. Rather than just square cut butt joints, bevel the ends at 45-degree angles so one laps over the other like this. This type of joint is less visible than a standard square cut butt joint. To make the joint even less visible, before installation I scorched the end grain with a torch and the joint almost disappeared. Whenever possible, also use wood glue and drive nails through the joint to keep the boards from separating should the wood expand or contract. To attach the face trim or apron, I'll be using decorative screws. These screws will add an aesthetic touch and also allow for removal of the trim to access the electrical junction boxes. To line the screws up with each other and to space them evenly, I'm using a measuring template that will mark a spot centered on each panel, and here again I'm also using the combination square to mark the center line on the face of the trim. Using jigs and measuring templates is much more accurate for repeated marking like this, rather than trying to use a tape measure to mark each screw location. Just be sure you're not going to drive the screws into the conduit. It's always a good idea to pre-drill holes for the screws to prevent splitting the wood, and also to make sure the screws will land exactly where you want them to go. So I kind of messed up here a little. I forgot to peel back the plastic film on the steel panels before installing the blocks. Not really a big deal. All I had to do was lightly score the plastic film with a utility knife and it peeled away cleanly. If you're installing steel paneling on your project, don't forget to peel back the film as you go. Around the window is a little bit trickier. On this project we decided to just drop the chase down to follow the window trim. It ended up creating an interesting detail for the chase. To close off the ends of the drop down, cut and nail small end caps in place. For the ends of the chase, use the same method for closing off the ends of the drop down around the window by nailing small end caps in place. And that's a wrap on the electrical chase. This remodel project isn't completely finished yet, but for now, at least we can clean up, put the furniture back, and use the family room again. If you enjoyed this video, would you let me know? Leave a comment below the video. And if this is your first time here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one.